My name's Ed Cagney. I'm from Scotts, Michigan, just outside of Kalamazoo. I farmed here all my life, and I've got now around 1,380 acres and rent another 1,400 from several landlords, and we grow seed corn, soybeans, seed beans, green beans, wheat, oats, bale some hay and straw, and we grow green sorghum. My great-grandfather came here in 1869 and bought 40 acres. He was in Massachusetts. His health was getting bad. He was working in a foundry, and a doctor told him, he said, you need to get out and buy yourself a farm and get out in the fresh air. So for some reason, he came here and bought the original 40 acres. He couldn't read or write, and he signed the original deed with an X. My grandfather was the youngest boy, stayed on the home farm, and then my dad took it over from him, and then I took it over from my dad. So I was probably just like most kids who grew up on a farm. You know, I wanted to get out and hang out with Dad and do things that he was doing, and the biggest thing that happened to me when I was 8 years old, I fell off a tractor and got ran over, and that's how I have the scar on my forehead. I was in a hospital for a week, had 160 stitches. Once I healed up, I was ready to go again, so it didn't slow me down any. I was involved in 4-H. You know, I had cattle at the fair and helped out on the farm, so I just always liked it. I went to Michigan State 2 years full-time, and I went 3 years part-time, and we had an opportunity to rent a couple more farms at that time, and I was ready to get at it, so I quit school and started farming. That was in like 1979, so the next year interest rates were like 19–20%, so I don't know if my timing was good on it, but somehow we made it all through the 80s and held it all together. We got married in 1989. I guess we could blame a neighbor for having a hayride. I guess that's where we met, on a hayride, so 5 years prior to that. So she's been hanging out with me since. We almost harvest something here every month from June to November. Baling hay in June, we harvest wheat and oats in July, you do green beans in August, we start picking seed corn in September, it rolls into October soybeans, and November is regular field corn or commercial corn, we call it down here. It's kind of a steady flow of work that way. Well, I've been on the Kalamazoo Conservation District Board for a few years, but I've done some cover crops. Always after green beans, we put like oats or something on there for, you know, to help tie up nutrients. But we've been doing some interseeding in the seed corn in the fall with annual ryegrass, and just to try to build the soil up a little more. And we've done some irrigation, renozzling of pivots and stuff for better water efficiency. I've been on the planning commission here for probably 16 years. I was chairman of it for like 8 years. I've been on the township board of review for like 20 years. I was a volunteer fireman for 29 years. I finally retired from that.
A master farmer to me is someone who is not only a phenomenal farmer, but also someone who is involved in their community, is a role model for others, is involved with the youth in the community, perhaps through county fairs, etc., and is someone who is willing to go and be involved in organizations such as like what we have with the Michigan Soybean Promotion Committee. Someone who's looking to better themselves so that they can better their farm.
Mitch and Brandy Klein, they live at our home farm now, and you know, Mitch grew up here on the farm because his dad worked for me part-time for over the past 20 years, and so he grew up, he liked it, he went to Michigan State, got a degree in agribusiness management, and after doing a few other things, he decided that's where he wanted to be, was back here. So that's the direction we'll be going. If you're a master farmer, it's somebody that's, first you gotta be a good farmer. You gotta grow good crops, you gotta do a good job. And then that's kind of a first. And then if you can, you know, be involved in your community and farm groups and that thing, and get out and mix with the rest of your business. Try to contribute what you can, and you'll learn more from doing that than you'll probably contribute.